and they have this ego, and this ego needs to be fed. So they won't dare apologize to you right away or ask you for an apology because, hey, I'm better than you. But you know, the truth of the matter is, I like to say this to a lot of people, especially gentlemen. Hi everyone, it's John C. Morley, serial entrepreneur, and welcome to another Super Motivational Friday. I have a question for you. Have you ever asked somebody for forgiveness? Or have you ever wished that somebody would ask you for forgiveness? Think about that for a moment. Have you ever asked somebody for forgiveness? Or have you ever wished that somebody would actually forgive you? So that gets us to our question today of how and why we should forgive others. So how many of you remember being in grammar school or high school and somebody does something to you and it's unintentional, but you make it like the biggest thing that's ever happened to you, and it's horrible and it ruins your day, and you're like, I wish that person apologized to me, or I hate that person. And you stop talking to that person. You remember these days when it's like you stop talking to that person for the entire week. It's like, what happened? Well, he's mad at you, so he's not talking to you. Okay. Tell him that, and finally it gets to a point where it's like, enough's enough. And after a week, usually something happens. Either one person apologized and said, you know, this is enough, or the other person says, hey, look, I don't know who's right or who's wrong, but I don't like that we're not talking, and let's just get on to the way it was. So how and why should you forgive someone? So first of all, when you have to forgive someone, there is baggage. Like if you've ever gone up a mountain and, you know, whether you're an Eagle Scout like myself or just a day hiker, you put all those packs on you, right? And if you had, let's just say, 10 times 10, that would be 100, okay? What's 100 times 10? 1,000. If you had to go up and down a mountain with 1,000 pounds of extra weight on your shoulders, you wouldn't be too happy. But think about this. If you were going your entire life with either that on your back or that emotional strain on your heart and your mind and your body, it's going to captivate you. So if you forgive someone, if you ask for forgiveness, you're going to find that 1,000 pounds has dropped to 900, then to 800. And then maybe if you put a smile on your face, it drops down to 700. Forgive another person, 600. Forgive another person, 500. Start doing something nice for someone, maybe you're down to 300. And then maybe there's somebody in your life that's bothering you, but you don't really know who they are. It's from your beginning eon days. Meditate and ask Spirit to help you release that by cord cutting those people and to forgive them. Now, I know a lot of people have these big things, you know, they have a big E, egos, and everybody likes to get their egos fed. This happens to people that make a few extra dollars more than you, or this happens to people that might be better at something than you, perceived. And they have this ego, and this ego needs to be fed. So they won't dare apologize to you right away or ask you for an apology because, hey, I'm better than you. But you know, the truth of the matter is, I like to say this to a lot of people, especially gentlemen. You know, all guys put on their slacks by their left foot and their right foot, or their right foot and their left foot. I told this to a very well-known doctor one time, very arrogant person. And he didn't get it. But then about 6 months later, with somebody else, he started to realize that he wasn't all that. He was good, but his ego was actually bringing him down as a doctor and affecting his bedside manner, and he was starting to lose patience. So what my tip for you today is, if you have a heavy heart, and extra baggage on you, and you're stressed, examine yourself and find out, is there somebody that you need to forgive? Is there? Maybe it's something small. Is there someone else that maybe wants your forgiveness? So either you're asking for forgiveness or they're asking for forgiveness. Granted, if somebody comes to you with a humble, contrite, and honest heart, what have you got to lose to forgive that person? You're gonna feel better, they're gonna feel better, and hey, you might just make a good friend out of that. I am John C. Morley, serial entrepreneur. It has been a privilege, a pleasure, and an honor to be with you in another super motivational Friday video. And if you like this content, below the video, look for that link, help keep our content free, and click on that PayPal link now and make the choice from your heart to buy my team and I a cup of coffee. We'll be so grateful with those pennies and those dollars. We'll invest into new hardware, new technology, equipment, staff, and even new facilities to give you the most jaw-dropping, motivational, inspirational content to get you off your butt into inspired action, to take the steps you need to become the success that you have been building toward your entire life. Have yourself a great rest of the day, and I'll be back again in another video.